I wanted to introduce you to an interesting library. It's called Mousetrap. It's a tiny little 2 or 3 kilobyte library that will help you with keyboard shortcuts in your web application. I really find this useful. I have a task management application that I use, and I recently started using the keyboard shortcuts. It has a lot of them, and it was amazing to me the efficiency that I gained and how much faster and more productive I could be with that web application. So I decided I was going to implement these into my Wakanda applications. So here's a quick example. Um, I'll give you a run through of the application. When you first come in, if there's no brands, I have just a brands data source. If there are no elements in the brands, the container here is deactivated using disable. So you can see here I've given you a legend of shortcuts. So I'm going to do Control N for a new brand, and just put in some fake information here, and I'll do Control S, and that will save. And if we reload, you'll see that that's persisted to the server side. I'll do another Control N for brand 2, and we'll save that one this way. And then we'll do Control C for duplicate, and you can see we've duplicated brand 2. We'll change that into brand 3. And Control S for save. When we reload, everything's there. Control D is for delete, and when we get none, it goes to a disabled state again. So how did we implement this in Wakanda? I'll go through the basics here. So there's a few places we put code. One is in the brand data source in the events in the on collection change, which you will see. The other place is in each of these buttons. We used Mousetrap to create code for the key binding. So let's go to our index script. First thing we have here, as you can see in the onload of the document, I'm binding the different key combinations to several functions. Now you can write inline functions here, just an anonymous function. I chose to define my functions up top. Reason being is I had some crossover, so this save button performs the same action as the save keystroke. So what I did was I wrote a button or a function for each of the major operations: delete brand, new brand, save brand, and duplicate brand. You can see it all happening there. You can see on the collection change, I'm checking if that brand data source is empty, and if it is, disabling the container, and if it's not, ensuring that it's enabled. So you can see in the Mousetrap, I have one on the new brand where I specified that the action takes place on key up, and that's because when you created a new brand, it was automatically inserting an N into the text field because I was positioning there. So this specifies that only do it after the key is up, so that's after the N would be registered. And the other thing you should know is in here, in the text inputs, the default for for the library is to not accept keyboard shortcuts for text inputs because it might cause conflicts. For my keyboard shortcuts, they have a modifier, so I overrode it with you just simply add a CSS class called Mousetrap, and then they will listen for events. So it's a really useful little library. I've posted this to GitHub. The address was at the beginning of the movie. By all means, feel free to utilize it, and good luck with it.